director and creator of some of the most hard-hitting and great stories in Indian entertainment industry. I request you to be on the dais. Can we have a huge round of applause, everyone? Welcoming the next leader on the scene, Netflix India groundbreaking originals, a champion of diversified storytelling. Please welcome Monica Shergill.
Having a session before lunch or having a session after lunch. So we'll soon find out. Thank you, FICCI Frames, for hosting this. Let's cut to the chase. So our business, if you see it from an aerial point of view, there are only two divisions. I think we need to introduce her too much. But I'll start asking you from a simple, yeah.
Actually, I think Hansal is my senior, a really admired creator. I would like you to start with him so I
Fair
can
enough.
hear him.
Fair enough. So Hansal sir, I know him from a very long time, right from sitting in an Aram Nagar lawn. In बहुत गर्मी थी and शायद पंखा भी नहीं था and he just sitting and thinking यार आज क्या mortgage करूँ शायद को कि next shoot करने के लिए. Starting from there, he's doing some phenomenal work, not just in Hindi but in Gujarati and several other content. Again, इनका भी introduction जो भी करें कम होगा. So Hansal ji, let's start with you. सो इन्होंने आपको बूढ़ा तो बता ही दिया है. सो थोड़ा बताइए.
अभी मैं एक्सेप्ट कर लेता हूँ.
ओके.
हाँ, मतलब इट मेक्स एवरीवन एल्स फील यंग, तो मैं बूढ़ा ही सही.
फेयर इनफ.
No, I'm in the same club, but
No. नहीं, आई मतलब it's the 30 almost 31 years since we made खाना खजाना, and मुझे अभी भी हर साल मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सब कुछ नया है. ऐसे कुछ मतलब मैं कोई ऐसा बिजनेस नहीं जानता हूँ, कोई ऐसी इंडस्ट्री नहीं जानता हूँ जहाँ पर हर रोज़ आपको लगता है कि सब कुछ नया है और मैं आज क्या कर सकता हूँ, कैसे इस चीज़ का हिस्सा बन सकता हूँ, कैसे इस रेवोल्यूशन का हिस्सा बन सकता हूँ. उतार चढ़ाव बहुत होते हैं लेकिन हमेशा एक्साइटमेंट रहता है. तो देयर इज़ नो बिजनेस लाइक शो बिजनेस, एंड इट इज़ ट्रू. It's absolutely, I'm living that dream.
So Hansalji, just one thing, like you've been a cinema guy all your life, and now what do you see as a future? Like OTT has changed a lot of stuff. A film like Faraz, which found an audience, you're getting responses from all across the world. So what is your take on this change which is happening?
I don't see any big difference. You see, you're a filmmaker, your craft, you use it to tell stories in the format that allows you to tell that story. कि जैसे स्कैम की कहानी अगर मैं फीचर फिल्म में बनाता तो शायद वो इनकम्प्लीट सी लगती. स्कूप की कहानी अगर मैं फीचर फिल्म के ज़रिए कहता तो वो अलग स्टोरी टेलिंग होता. तो मतलब वो सिमिलरली फराज अगर मैं सीरीज़ बनाता तो शायद वो एज अ सीरीज़ मुझे बहुत सारी कहानियाँ और कहनी पड़ती उसमें उसको सीरीज़ बनाने के लिए. तो आई थिंक वी हैव जस्ट द प्लेइंग फील्ड इज़ इंक्रीज्ड. हम सी आई केम इन एट द टाइम ऑफ टीवी. तो टीवी पे ये होता था कि कुछ कहानियों के लिए मनाही होती थी कि ये नहीं हो सकता है, ये कहानी आप कह नहीं सकते, आप स्कैम जैसा टीवी सीरियल नहीं बना सकते. सो अब क्या हो गया है कि वो आप हर तरह की कहानी कह सकते हो और उसको कहने का ज़रिया और उसके लिए ऑडियंस मौजूद है. वी हैव एन ऑडियंस दैट इज़ देयर प्रोवाइडेड यू आर एबल टू गिव देम व्हाट दे want, and that you're honest to the medium. Otherwise, as a filmmaker, I think the rules of engagement and the craft is as it evolves for everyone.
So Monica, everybody sees you as a leader, somebody who's pioneering OTT and television and digital content and whatever you've done in life. But the life is not that easy because there's so many permutation and combinations. So what is that shift you are seeing? Because when I see a content like Kohra or Jamtara, in a traditional cinema sense, they will never be accepted in a cinema format. But you the language ki problem hai, but you've taken those risks. So what is the future of entertainment in your perspective?
I actually feel very, deeply excited about the times we are in. If I dial back a few years ago, um, and I deeply love cinema and all kinds of storytelling on different mediums, I just feel that somewhere the confluence of creativity and technology has come up with a medium where if I look at this room, every single person will have a different taste here. Everyone has their own version of entertainment, what makes them happy, what makes them think, what brings joy to them. Some people like darker stuff more, some people just want to have a laugh, some people want lean in, lean back. I feel here is a medium like streaming which allows every single kind of story to actually sit on that medium and be available to be experienced. So if I want to just come back home from work and I feel that I just want to watch a certain kind of thing, it's available. It's available to me, it's on demand, I can put it on. Or if I just want to experience some really thought-provoking thing, I want to watch a documentary today, or Hansal's work, it entertains and it makes you think. It leaves you with something long after you've seen it. And so many of our creators and storytellers who believe in certain kind of prestige cinema, who make thought-provoking stuff, and then you have, the kind of entertainment which, of course, is layered and is subject-oriented, but it also is lighter and it is more consumable by a larger set of audience. And then you have the absolute extreme, which are the commercial entertainers. I think streaming, for the first time, there is a medium which is providing you the whole spectrum of entertainment. So it allows different audiences, tastes to be catered. And I think the future is very bright because you're not limited, you're not boxed by just a one-to-many experience. There is, co-viewing is a very big thing, increasingly big thing on streaming also. If you see how a live boxing match did, or how people watch Kapil Sharma show on Netflix, it is a co-viewing experience which you can enjoy. But at the same time, series is a premium long-format entertainment. We've recently done Black Warrant. Hansal is working on another thing with us.
Khaki.
Yes, Khaki, which has just come out, the Bengal chapter. Dabba Cartel, which has just come out. I think all of these allow you to experience, to be immersed in a world, to listen to different perspectives from different characters. You're just able to experience something which is not just it is not just being beamed at you. Actually, it is a pull medium and it is only going to cater to more and more people, but it is not going to leave behind people with certain tastes which are, I would say, more prestige leaning, more layered. So there is some kind of fear that streaming is also going to now become like every other medium. I think that is where we need to very actively, as creators, as platforms, go out there and break that myth. It's very important to do that because here is a medium that allows for everyone's taste to be catered, and it's time to celebrate that and do more high quality storytelling so that more and more stories reach out to more and more people.
So I think there's a deliberate move from changing Heartland India. Is that a kind of a strategy of yours? Somewhere, Heartland India stories, छोटे छोटे शहरों की कहानियाँ.
I think as entertainers, it's very important for us to remember that we need to entertain our audiences. And we need to be able to reflect all kinds of audiences when we tell stories. To only reflect certain kinds of audiences and cater to certain pockets of tastes, or leanings is actually not using the power of the medium that we are in. Lapata Ladies absolutely blew up on the service because, it was the kind of story that really, went into people's hearts. It showed them an India that everyone really wants to, sort of look at simpler stories and really charming settings. So I think that, or when you do gritty kind of storytelling, I think it's really important that we reflect all kinds of stories. Because going closer, we are a country of 1.4 billion people and counting. Do we have the option to say we will only tell stories for the first few million people? And for anyone to think that that is the right way to go about it is actually incorrect. The power of the medium, storytelling medium, is meant for everyone. We love our stories, and different stories can cater to different people. But I think it is important for us to go closer to our audiences rather than think that, oh, this is India and that's Bharat. I don't at all think that's the right way of
Superb,
thinking.
superb, superb. So Hansalji, there's also a myth that a budget determines the quality of the content, but you are creating content in regions like Gujarat, apart from Hindi, of course. So what is your take in that?
No, I've never felt that budget can be a limiting factor in telling the stories. Now, since 2010 particularly, when we sort of moved away from film, from celluloid, we have been more and more empowered. First by the medium, that you can tell a story. When like Shahid taught me that. When I made Shahid, I made it for 35 lakhs. And people said, are you crazy? Nahi hoga, ban nahi sakti hai. We made the film. It won the National Award for Best Director and Best Actor in a year when Bhag Milkha Bhag had released. Made at 35 crores. So the level playing field, and it's that level playing field is just increased. You see, पहले वो सवाल ये उठता था कि okay, you've made the film, 35 लाख में बना दी जितने में भी, where will it be seen? Now there's an opportunity to have it seen. There's an opportunity that the audience will be there to see it. We have to make more effort to do that. But I've always maintained that budgets fail, films don't. The people who join my team, I make sure that they are trained in the discipline of budgeting, because it is one of the in times, see, in good times money flows well, but in bad times people who know how to use money well will flourish. And as a storyteller, you should not shy away from that. I think some of our best storytellers in our country and worldwide, our greatest storytellers, have always told their stories economically, have always done that within budget. So I feel that budgets is not, it's not the white elephant. It is actually as important as what you're making. If you're able to, I have to give a value proposition. If I have a story that is absolutely niche, that is for a certain amount of audience, I have to be able to tell somebody that, listen, it's very cheap. You have to minimize that risk.
So you plan a budget as you plan the story, is it?
Well, it's become almost like it's like second nature, because you have to see. I don't like to write stories in vain. You have to have a value proposition. So there are lots of stories that are based in Gujarat. Okay, now you feel that, okay, how do I? In Hindi, the story will get bastardized. It will not be as authentic. So if I have to make it in Gujarati, I have to make it within the parameters of the Gujarati market. I have to make it for a Gujarati audience, and then hope that it travels wide. All that is bonus. So the idea is, how do you marry quality with the parameters that that particular market offers you?
And it makes it authentic also.
Yeah, I think that works. Monica, there's just connected a question to this. Is apart from budgets, there's something called data, which is measuring success and all, and you know how to use it. How do you measure success? How do you measure? And since you are the pioneers and you're doing something for which you're also charging a premium, you have a lot of data. So just a layman's question that, everybody's trying to, like, a horror comedy chal gayi hai, so everybody wants to make horror comedy. Somebody told me there's some 26 horror comedies being made in terms of films and everything. तो इस भेड़ चाल के दौर में, how does a शेरगिल work? So how do you, is there data a very big determination to make content?
Data can only tell you what has happened. It can never inform what is to come. So I think it's very important. We are in a medium which is creative. the production timelines, the creative timelines. I mean, it takes anywhere between 2 to 3 years to bring a story out that you really believe in, sometimes even longer.
Yes.
How can a data point which happens at a certain point in time inform you of where the audience will be at that time, what is the environment? So it's really important to follow your passion where ideas are concerned. Stories are always about heart, what you want to say, what a creator's vision is, and why would you choose to tell a story? Because you feel that, yes, this is something that people will love watching. Data can only tell you that, yeah, people watch crime more. Can it tell you what kind of crime story to make? No, it cannot. And after you've made one kind of crime story, will you again make the same kind of crime story because the data proved? At least in streaming, you cannot. Maybe in theater.
No, even in theater, that's not.
Now they can't. You know, earlier there always used to be, okay, this has worked. So now the latest is, okay, only franchise works. So let's just lean into all kinds of franchises. That also will be proven wrong at some point. So I think that we should never over-index on data. Data can only tell you, very broad sort of learnings that it can tell you, but it can never inform what kind of stories to be told, because stories are really about touching people. They're about setting new trends. They're about innovating. And I think in streaming, the minute you try to replicate what you've already done, audiences will reject it. They've seen that. They're seeing content and stories from world over. They're seeing the kind of innovation that's happening. Every single week, if not month, new kinds of stories are coming, new formats. And people are exposed to them at such a large scale.
Yeah.
So their expectations have gone up. So when you're actually thinking and programming and you're looking at stories, you want to actually lean into the most exciting stories. And that's the only way to, run the entertainment industry.
So if I'm getting it right, so data can just drive a little bit of the path.
It can inform you on certain things. It can help you to know there are more takers for this genre, or even budget is a data point, actually. Like Hansal rightly said, that films don't fail, the budgets fail. Of course, when you, in any format, actually, film, series, docu, if something is not made the way it was planned or envisioned, of course, there are times when you feel the creative could have been better. But essentially, budget as a data point, it tells you, it indicates you that, okay, this size of an audience, this is the size of an audience, so will you go and spend 3x or 10x the amount of money on something which is meant to please a certain size of audience and to be very loved in that audience set. And when you actually throw more money at it, then you actually make it unsuccessful. So it's very important to just look at those parameters and really not chase data. You can actually keep, massaging data to tell you more, but it doesn't tell you more. It's very important to have gut in the entertainment business.
Fair enough.
Is useful sometimes when you have a second season. It can inform you that, look, this show is working, what is working, and why a second season should either get more money or less money. What kind of audience you're reaching. So I think it's invaluable if the data is interpreted in a little more subjective manner. If the data has to become a meditation point, not a point of, it cannot be numbers focused.
Yeah.
It's a point of discourse. It's a point of meditation. You have to reflect on the numbers.
So it's one of the parameters, not the only.
You have to find answers which are subjective within all those numbers. It cannot be just, it's मतलब बहुत सिंपल है उसमें. मतलब हम फिल्मों में भी पीपल से कि फिल्म बहुत हिट थी, 100 करोड़ की है. अरे भैया आपके हीरो ने 200 करोड़ लिया है, 100 करोड़ की फिल्म हिट कैसे हुई? तो वो ना that is fake data. वो data मतलब it's only it's very one-sided data. It's not telling you the entire picture, and which is why I've been constantly fighting about, why do these box office numbers become the determinant for a film's failure or success, when films actually monetize their income from various sources over a period of few years, and who knows that business better than the people who have invested in it. यू नो, कि वो मतलब आप फ्राइडे सैटरडे को आप डिसाइड कर लेते हो कि ये फिल्म फ्लॉप है, and मतलब वो फ्लॉप का जो लेबल लग जाता है फिल्म पे, वो ज़िंदगी भर रह जाता है. मतलब ना, सम ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन, कोई भी चलता फिरता बोल देता है, अरे तुम तो फ्लॉप बनाते हो. यू नो, अब मैं मतलब मैंने टी शर्ट्स बनवाए अभी नए, फ्लॉप लिखा हुआ है उस पर. आई वेयर इट एज अ बैज ऑफ ऑनर कि अगर मेरी फ्लॉप फिल्म शाहिद है तो मैं मतलब रोज़ उठ के दुनिया को कहूँगा और ख़ुद को कहूँगा कि मुझे ऐसी फ्लॉप बनानी है. मैं 150 और फ्लॉप बनाऊँगा ऐसी.
So, superb. So as a creator, Hansal sir, now whatever you're going to be creating, it's going to take 12 months, 24 months, depending on the format. So whatever you're thinking now is going to come to the audience much, much more later.
मतलब ये डेडलाइंस की बात क्यों कर रहे हो यहाँ
अच्छा,
नेटफ्लिक्स के साथ?
मुझे
Yeah, we'll have a conversation
Yes, we have to talk
backstage.
about that.
अच्छा, so नहीं वैसे
नहीं,
कोई सुन
नहीं,
नहीं
नहीं,
रहा. So how do you see the future? What do you think कि ये मैं 12 महीने बाद या 24 महीने बाद रिलीज होगा? This is you don't think much.
देखिए, वो सोचे, उसके बारे में सोचने लगोगे तो आप जो अभी कर रहे हो वो नहीं हो पाएगा. आई थिंक यू हैव टू पुट योर हार्ट एंड सोल. इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू राइट. सबसे ज़्यादा वक्त अगर आप लिखने पे, डेवलपमेंट साइकिल पे आप अगर बिताते हो, then there is an assurance that what you have made is true to the material. अब prep and development, these are the two key things. Shooting तो वो है, फैक्ट्री है कि उसके बाद मटेरियल फैक्ट्री में डालना है. You have to shoot it in the best way possible. पर उससे पहले जो आप तैयारी करते हो ना, and in the writing, I mean, Scam took 4.5 years to write before we went on floors. बहुत मतलब we used to get, मैंने एक फिल्म बना दी बीच में, मुझे लगा ये बनेगा नहीं. Then we realized, I mean, that staying power really helped. We started writing Scoop before Scam was even out, before the lockdown began. We started working on Scoop. तो वो आते आते 3 साल लगे. जी, तो नथिंग, यू नो, ये जो लगता है कि भाई 3 महीने में शो बन जाता है या आ जाएगा, देयर इज़ अ लॉट दैट गोज बिहाइंड द सीन्स टू बी एबल टू डू समथिंग वेल. I know, मतलब आप Patalok has taken 5 years, but hasn't the wait been worth it in the season 2? It's taken a lot of time, but the wait has been worth it. I mean, we have to find ways and means of cutting down that gap. We have to find a way, but ठीक है, जैसा है हम काम अच्छा कर पा रहे. That is the most important thing. You know, as a storyteller, what makes me happy is that I go back after I finished my post-production, I feel very satisfied having done what I did, which is why I find myself at home. मुझे लोग कहते हैं कि तुम फिल्में कम बना रहे हो. I said क्योंकि I have found a home here in the long format. I enjoy myself. I feel satisfied that, you know, the right questions are being asked. It is being made for the right reasons. I'm not making it just for that Friday.
Yeah, great, great. So Monica, a very wide question for you, and I'm not talking to you as somebody who's representing net content, films, doesn't matter. But what is the future? What do you see? What are the changes you're seeing in India? Because you're also seeing that Indian content is traveling across the world. So what are your insights for this? How is the content traveling?
I think none of us can claim to crystal ball gaze,
But we
but
can-
I will just take a shot at it. I think we are living in a very content dense times. Everything is content. A joke posted by somebody is content. Someone's story, a person standing with a phone is content. People are watching all kinds of short formats. And but I think that fundamentally high quality curated storytelling is something which is also peaking at the same time. So both are true. While people are also watching, very basic content, which is created anywhere, anytime. Somebody takes a shot of a billboard and puts it, and that takes your time. You're watching it on your feed. But at the same time, the way we see long format storytelling happening, like Hansal has said, the way we see cinema evolving around the world, and different formats and new genres coming, I think all of that is also peaking as we go along. And what we have to do, I think the future of entertainment is very bright. I firmly believe that because it is reaching more and more people. People are experiencing different kinds of storytelling and it is elevating their tastes. There are things which will bring people together as, a common viewing, co-viewing and enjoying a certain way. But every single person out there is finding their kind of entertainment and also observing what others are watching. Everyone's interested to know, what are you watching? Okay, what's trending? So everyone wants to experience, experiment, and watch and get exposed to different kinds of content. That can only mean good things for the industry, for creators, for platforms. I think the one thing we have to remember is that we have to constantly keep listening and learning to the audiences. Ultimately, the audience is going to consume those stories. So it's important to, have our ear close to the ground, to listen, to learn, to observe what people are watching, what direction, different kinds of storytelling is going in. So I would just say that between everything that I see right now, mediums will coexist. I think theatricals also, we all love going to the theaters. The audience is not rejecting going to the theaters. I think they're demanding better films. It's as simple as that. Because as streaming has exposed them to content from all around the world and also locally, so many wonderful stories are being told by creators like Hansal and so many others. And that has actually made them realize that shouldn't our cinema also be doing something better? When you go to the theater, you want to experience more films that have more to say and not either the same to say or, the pre-pandemic era where all kinds of, like, that was the only source of entertainment. Now you have different sources of entertainment.
Yes.
So I think we all have to up-level our game. We all have to make better content for the audiences.
One of the big indicators of what audiences are watching, how diverse our audience is, you look at the Netflix top 10. Number 1 is Khaki, the Bengal chapter, very massy. Okay, it's like made for that full, it's cinema entertainment. It's,
Yes.
mainstream entertainment. And number 2, adolescents. They both coexist on the same platform. Number 3, Dabba Cartel. Now, each of them serve a different taste. Group that likes samples different kinds of things, and they're all there, and they're all in the top 3. Then, I just looked at the charts right now, and this is the 1, 2, and 3.
And that's amazing.
Which is so good, which tells you, nothing, you cannot, narrow down the scope of storytelling. Only one thing works. There's no one formula for everything.
So,
And we should celebrate this opportunity as an industry to be able to create so many different kinds of stories and they will reach the right people. That's the fun of it.
I think optimistic thoughts. Just adding one more thing, Ansel sir, I just was speaking to you before the session, and one is the cinematic and the larger than life, talking about global content. The other is regionalization, the regional content. Somebody is doing something in Haryana, Gujarat. So what is your thought on that?
Well, it's early days. As I told you, I'm trying to build content specifically for Gujarat. Being a Gujarati, I feel that there's a lot to be done there, and there is a big audience there. When I went to promote Scoop in Gujarat, I thought Gujarat would have a very big audience for Scoop. I was surprised to see that the audience had only watched the second season of Asur. They had come at the same time. They had watched Asur and they had not watched Scoop. Scoop had all Gujarati actors. So I realized that things were not reaching, it's such a vast audience, but they were not reaching them. They were stuck to a old format. The first season was such a huge success, Asur, which is, of course, it was something that Monica created when she was at Woot. Monica and Tanya. They created and the second season was playing at the same time that Scoop came out. And I spent 2 days. I realized that, the audiences they did not know about Scoop. Their awareness was low. I felt that audience wanted entertainment, but we have not been able to give it to them. So I'm trying to make some kind of local content within those parameters and give it to them locally, for now. give it to them locally, because right now there's not much diversity on uh, on the bigger streaming platforms for regional content. It's very limited currently, and I feel that there's something to be explored, and this is an exploration. What I'm doing right now is giving back to the state where I was born, where my family was born, not me. I am born in Maharashtra. It's giving back to me all these wonderful roads.
So, Monica,
That excites me to no end, actually. I'm so glad that we are able to do some defining documentaries. Hunt for Veerappan, Curry and Cyanide. We just had Roshan's recently, The Greatest Rivalry, Personality Docs. I really feel glad that as a format and genre of storytelling is also, getting reinvented. I should tell you a little story. When I was in my earlier job, I was reading an article about this person at Netflix who had reinvented the documentary space because she leaned in, she was very passionate about it, and she met a lot of creators, and she said, we want to do documentaries, but we want to do them in a more entertaining format so that people are able to, more people are able to experience the joy of watching documentaries and, how it stimulates you. And I remember reading that article, and I was like, wow, I would like to meet her someday. And then I joined, and the day I met her, that was one of my biggest fan moments, because I really feel that format is very rich. It shows, it takes you on a journey which is unparalleled. So I feel very excited that we are able to do documentaries, we are able to look at subjects that wouldn't otherwise be, shown, or people who, like Hunt for Veerappan is, I don't know, I hope people have seen it in the room.
I think everyone
Yeah,
has.
it is one of the finest, and we have a feature on Netflix, which is the Double Thumbs feature. I'm sure many of you might have seen it, which tells you, when people press double thumbs and actually communicate that they love something. Hunt for Veerappan had the highest number of double thumbs, the threshold that, is the max that you can give. And that gave me incredible joy.
So, since we have very less time, Hansal, just parting, last question. What do you see is the future of entertainment?
I don't know. I mean, I think disruption, there is a time for disruption at every moment, and we are at that inflection point right now. A lot of people are saying that things have slowed down, we are not making enough revenues, films are tanking, lot of doomsday predictions. I think this is the time for, like we were in the pandemic, people said everybody, who flourished? The storytellers. And every time things are down, the storytellers will always flourish, because stories keep a nation's conscience alive.
Monica, what is the future of entertainment?
I think reinvention, constant evolution and reinvention, because when you have pressure, when people are feeling, times are tough, world over, we put on the news every day and we feel, oh, it's so tough everywhere. It's the time for storytellers to be even more prolific and to become the voice of people, tell stories that make them think, say stories that make them laugh, that ease all this stress in the environment. I think it's a good time for entertainment, and we should just be, I think there should be a swing in the step of storytellers, because there are opportunities. We should be seeing and telling more stories.
So I think we'll sum it up by saying that this is the best time to be in content, and better times are going to come. Seeing the FICCI report, that was what we were thinking about. A round of applause for 2 thumbs up for the answers. So any
I think time to go and work.
Monica,
I second that.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, can we have a huge round of applause? I must admit, for a very blockbuster discussion it was, and I'll request all three of you to gentlemen. It's an incredible day. It has been from thought-provoking discussions out here for insightful revelations, from celebrating industry milestones to honoring the creative brilliance. We have seen it all. The launch of FICCI Media and Entertainment Industry Report has definitely given us some valuable insights where we stand today and the limitless opportunity that lies ahead. Well, with that note, the future of storytelling, content innovation, and constant audience engagement is being redefined. Each one of you are here